Welcome back. Yes, whenever you hear the word adjustments, you go into panic mode. Not necessary. Don't fear when Ashraf is near. Whenever you are dealing with adjustments, the most important question to ask yourself is, which are my two accounts involved? Let's start off with accrued expenses. It is an expense for which you are owing. Definitely, you're going to debit the expense account and credit accrued expense. Why? Because accrued expense is a liability. You're owing for it, therefore featuring under trade and other payables. But as I said, the emphasis today is on the income statement. So remember, you must be able to identify what is happening with the expense. If it's an accrued expense, debit my expense, credit accrued expenses. What about prepaid expenses? It's an expense that you have prepaid. It's not for this year. So therefore, decrease the expense. How do you do that? By crediting your expense and doing what? And debiting prepaid expenses. So remember always, whenever you're confronted with an adjustment, ask yourself the question, which are my two accounts involved? And thereafter, it becomes easy for you to be able to answer it. With your incomes, it's an accrued income. It's an income that you have earned but not yet received, for whatever the reason may be. In other words, these people where you are earning the income from are owing you the money. As a result, you will debit accrued income and credit your income account. Please guys, understand what I'm trying to get across to you. Whenever you're dealing with an accrued income, your adjustment will always be debit the accrued income and credit the income account. It will never ever change when you are doing your adjustments. Okay, what about income received in advance? Yes, income received in advance, also known as deferred income. This is income that you have received, which you have not earned. You've received it now, but it's not for this financial year. It's for another financial year, the next financial year. In other words, what's my double entry? Debit your income account. That's right, debit your income account to decrease it and credit your income received in advance, which is a temporary liability. Consumable stores on hand. Yes, when you think of the item packing materials, when you're thinking of the item consumables, if you have left over at the end of the financial year, you have not used up all the packing materials. It would be unfair to use the amount just as it appears in your pre-adjustment trial balance. Therefore, your double entry is debit consumable stores on hand because it's your asset account, and a credit to your packing materials or stationery or any other consumable item that you may be dealing with. Remember, I'm giving you the double entries that are associated with each of these adjustments. If it's a trading stock deficit, debit your deficit account. Why? Because it's an expense. Credit trading stock. By the same token, if it's a surplus, what's your double entry? Debit trading stock, credit trading stock surplus. Definitely you can see trading stock deficit is your expense, trading stock surplus is your income. Depreciation. What's my double entry for depreciation? Which are my two accounts involved? It will always be a debit to depreciation. Can you remember I said what type of an account is depreciation? Depreciation is an expense. What type of an expense? An imputed expense. You are debiting depreciation because it's an expense. You are crediting accumulated depreciation, which is what? A negative asset. What is a negative asset? It's an asset, it's the value by which your asset is decreasing. Okay, So once again, the double entry, a debit to depreciation and a credit to accumulated depreciation. Bad debts, an expense that you're familiar with. You've done many of these. Double entry, debit bad debts, credit my debtors control. Provision for bad debts, whether it's an increase or a decrease. Remember, if you are increasing it, it's debit provision for bad debts adjustment and a credit to your provision for bad debts. If it's a decrease, you are debiting your provision for bad debts and you are crediting your provision for bad debts adjustment. So these are your adjustments. What is important is that you work through each one of these, and at each point, you must ask yourself the question, which are my two accounts involved? Identify the two accounts involved. Start from the known, and definitely it becomes very easy for you to take your adjustments into consideration. So now, what is it that you have to do? Whenever you are dealing with an adjustment, it's important that you open up your two accounts that are involved. For example, if it's a trading stock deficit, watch trading stock deficit is debited and you are crediting your trading stock account. Watch my double entry. If you can do this for every account, and more important, once you've done this, make use of your brackets when you are working in an income statement. You will clearly see here that it is important that you have to show calculations in brackets. Okay guys, we've done lots of information on the income statement. Okay guys, we've done lots of information on the income statement. You will see now when we do further programs, we'll work and see how those adjustments affect the income statement. But what are you going to do? Work through your past papers, because that's when you're going to get to grips with adjustments and you're going to understand it. Until the next time, what are we going to do? Aim for the moon, because if we don't get there, certainly we're going to be accounting shining stars. Until the next time, be good. Bye-bye.